There's a Japanese proverb that goes, there are three faces. The first face you show to the world, the second face you show to only your closest friends and family, and the third face you show to only yourself. This is the truest reflection of who you are. The origin of this quote is unknown, but the reason I happen to be choosing this quote is because I feel like our friends are part of a reflection of who we are. My name is Chastity Guajardo, and I will be interviewing my best friend slash coworker, Kayla Sarabia. I've only known Kayla for 2.5 years, but I feel like I've known her whole lifetime. And they say you don't really know someone until you work with them. And I feel like Kayla's best for this interview because she knows me best. She's seen me at my worst, she's seen me at my greatest, and she's seen me stress out the most. So I feel like the best person I could do an interview on is Kayla Sarabia. Moving on, I will be asking Kayla a few questions. I will be asking her what is my greatest weakness, what is my greatest strength, what kind of animal would I be, as well as how well do I handle stress, and if she happens to have any fond memories of us. Now, Kayla, thank you for taking the time out to come over here. I really appreciate it. And would you like to move on with the interview?
Yes, of course.
Now, Kayla, what would you say is my greatest weakness and why?
I would say your greatest weakness is that you care too much. When you care about something or someone, you give it priority, and sometimes you lose yourself in doing so. Like when Christmas came around, you went out of your way and you were frankly trying to find the perfect gift for your friends. And when the time came around, I saw the gifts that they gave you, and I knew that I hurt you because it looked like they just put it in together. And I felt like, it's always happening to you, and you know.
I can see that. Me personally, I would have thought you would have said my greatest weakness is my temper, because sometimes I feel like I am Tinkerbell with my temper. But it's nice to know that you care enough to see that part of me, and that's a part of myself that I would have never seen it as a weakness, like until you pointed out to me last year. Now, moving on to the next question. Now, since we're talking about weakness, what would you say is my greatest strength?
I say insightfulness because you're always able to read people and you can tell if they're being genuinely or just taking advantage of someone. And also courageous because sometimes I feel like you don't stand for injustice and you will speak out when the time comes, and I love that about you.
I feel like that's something I wouldn't have seen in myself, but now that you say it, I can see whenever my sassiness comes out and shows those parts of me.
Yes,
And
exactly.
most times I see my sassiness as a flaw, but it's nice to know that you see it as a strength. And the third question is, what animal do you think I would be and why?
I think you could be a tiger because they're calm, warm-hearted, yet fearsome, and love adventures, and is very sharp at.
Why would you say that I love adventure?
Because you're always down to do exciting things. You're not like everybody else that wants to go out to drink and have fun. I mean, that is fun, but you also you look at life differently, and you always want to do like artistic and view art and try to get more life experiences. Like you want to go skydiving with me, and I think that's awesome.
Okay, fourthly, well, how would you say I handle stress?
I say you handle stress like everybody else handles stress, That sometimes it's overwhelming, but I do see that you're very resourceful. Like if you can't find the solution yourself, you try to look for someone that can or been through that experience, and then you learn from it. And also that you always, uh, you're always courageous, and always try to find the solution in that moment. Like if nobody else wants to take it upon themselves, you will take it upon yourself.
Oh, thank you. I would have never seen myself as resourceful because I feel like on the inside, like my anxiety is just like booming, and all I can hear is my heart pounding and I feel my hands shaking. But I never thought of myself as resourceful, and I would have never thought anybody else saw me as that. So that's interesting. And I would like to move on to what's your fondest memory of us?
Fondest memory of us is whenever we take. There's a lot, but one that stands out is whenever we're talking. Just talking about life and stuff, and you're always saying that. You see like stuff that happens to me at work, and sometimes that people take advantage of me, and you're always trying to help me, and I think that's awesome, and like, you know, I'm not always the greatest friend, but you always tell me I am, and I feel like, you know, you're like the bestest friend I could ever ask for.
Okay, Kayla, I'd like to thank you for coming out for this interview, and I'd like to thank you for taking out this time to come here, and I'd like to thank you for also doing so many clips with me.
That's no worries.
Thank you, Kayla.
You're welcome.